So I have a few people here with me that were OGs of the Kittyverse. Some folks from Kitty Cred as well as Kitty Hats. Maybe we can go down the line and do a quick introduction of what you're working on and why you wanted to be a part of the Kittyverse when it started.
Okay. Well, so I'm Angela. I'm the front-end developer for Coin.cred. Kitty.cred, Kitty.cred is our first integration with an NFT. So we integrate with CryptoKitty. On sorry.
I could fill
Yeah,
it.
you
I'm
guys
also
could do
on
first.
Kitty.cred.
Yes, Kitty.
And our CEO, Jody, who you saw earlier today, really traveled the world going to conferences last year. And he heard so much energy about CryptoKitties that sort of everywhere he went, that's why it became our first integration.
Yeah, and so I guess we'll talk about what we do on Kitty.cred. So on Kitty.cred, you can coinify your kitties. So you can stay the original owner of the kitty, but you can share the coins with all your friends and whoever you like. And they can comment on your kitty, so you can connect with other breeders or other CryptoKitty people in the community. And another integration we did with the CryptoKitty is the kitty hats. So each kitty can have a hat, and we display all that information on the kitty's profile. You guys want
Dan, Jordan?
Hi everyone, I'm Jordan. This is Dan. We created something called Kitty Hats. Kitty Hats allows you to accessorize your CryptoKitties, essentially put a digital hat on a digital cat. The reason why we were interested in building on CryptoKitties is because CryptoKitties did an amazing job building a really great community to start, and we saw an opportunity to use CryptoKitties as a platform, and so we decided to do that and essentially leverage the users that CryptoKitties had already gained. There's this, obviously everyone knows, a steep barrier to entry with crypto, so we wanted to leverage the success that they had and utilize it as a platform.
Awesome. So we're talking a lot about community. Maybe you could share a little bit about the role that users have played in shaping your product. Obviously, using your product is interesting, but I know when we briefed before, there was a couple points that they surfaced that I think you should share with the crowd.
Yeah, when we started, after we built Kitty.cred, we wanted testers, and CryptoKitties has made it incredibly easy to reach out to people and get input. And they had a lot of input, so, which was great. I think initially our integration was fairly simple and was aimed more at someone who had a few cats, I guess. And so very quickly we realized we needed to import the search functions from CryptoKitties so that people could manage if they had a collection of 2,000 cats. And also the importance of tying accurate information so that, I couldn't go create Angela's cat. I couldn't make a coin for that, at least not officially. And as well, then that led naturally into adding kitty hats so that we can start to see all of the sort of add-ons that the cat has. So, and that all was community driven. So we were very happy with the input.
Yeah, is my mic on? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So community played a big role in kitty hats as well. After an initial seed batch of a dozen hats, all of our content was created by community members, and they created that content, I think, primarily because they loved CryptoKitties and wanted to contribute to the ecosystem. But we also had a 50-50 rev share with our artists, so they would go to all the trouble of creating an interesting accessory for a CryptoKitty on the faith that the kitty hats market would thrive and justify that initial investment. But the community throughout the entire time was active in our Discord server, supportive of everything that we did, and always chomping at the bit for the next release.
Awesome. So it sounds like users are surfacing interesting things that you could be working on or incorporating in your products. But what other concepts are you looking at exploring? We've talked a little bit about composability, or Angela, you mentioned conversation with coins. Could you tell us a little bit more about some of these concepts that are on your radar?
Yep. So with each kitty that you mint, you get a conversation stream, and anyone that has owned or touched a coin will be able to like and comment, and anyone can request a coin, so you can give them out or you can sell them on the marketplace.
Yeah, I would say with kitty hats, we launched kitty hats probably about a month after CryptoKitties, or maybe a couple months. But this notion of composables didn't exist yet. So, I mean, one thing we were excited about exploring is the notion of tokens owning other tokens, but that wasn't even a standard yet. And in fact, I think Dan had said while we were developing this, we should make this a standard. And I said, you're crazy. No, it shouldn't be. And now there's 998, and we're standardizing this so that everyone can benefit from the learnings. And so that's the one thing that I love is what came from it is hopefully inspiring the exploration and standardizing of these kind of different features of tokens.
Awesome. Okay. And can you tell us about where you hope extensibility will go in the future, what you think that might look like?
Yeah. So my dream is to be able to eventually take a well-dressed kitty into World of Warcraft and use it as a pet for my hunter. You know, like I want to be able to use my tokens not just in a game that's built for that token, but in a game like Kitty Races or in a game like World of Warcraft. I want to be able to own one set of assets and find exciting ways to use them in each in different silos.
And I would, building on that, I agree with everything he said, but I'd also like to see a sort of virtual reality environment for the Kittyverse where we can, you know, you can pick up your kitty cred coins, your cat can go to kitten camp, you can, you know, go run in the races, or off to other games. But I think really building that interaction, so there's things that you can do with your cat, you know, and really so you can have a reason to visit every day.
Cool. And what about some of the challenges that you've come across working in a permissionless ecosystem like this one?
I would say one challenge is the fact that permissionless doesn't exist all the way up the stack. And so when building these types of applications, you're naturally going to have to use some middleman or centralized authority at some point, unfortunately. And so I think one thing we experienced was we were playing a cat and mouse game with the Chrome extension store. For whatever reason, they didn't like our Chrome extension, and so they kept delisting it, which meant users couldn't actually interface with kitty hats, and we'd have to like relist it under a different name. And so I think that's one of the bigger challenges right now.
And to add to that, I don't know if this is true of all permissionless systems, but this permissionless system, there's still some UI hurdles that we had to account for. You know, we had to trust that our users were going to be uncommonly patient. We had to try and make as smooth and simple a user interface as possible so that we didn't add extra weight onto the MetaMask experience.
Mm-hmm.
We had some issues with speed too, as everyone knows. So on Kitty.cred, when you sign up, we give you a Stellar wallet, so users don't need to connect their own wallets, and Stellar is a bit quicker than working with Ethereum wallets, so that's how we combated that a bit. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And then last question, can we talk a little bit about the positive impacts these projects have had? Maybe Dan, Jordan, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So from the start, we knew that we wanted to turn digital goods into real world good. And while I'm thinking of it, big shout out to our absent friend Abby, who's in Vancouver right now working on CryptoKitties. He was from the start insistent that we had to find a way to turn some, make life better for some real life cats. And so from the start, we sold items and some of those items, we directed 100% of the revenue from them into charitable organizations such as the ASPCA. In addition to that, we were approached by a member of the CryptoKitties community. It was Bella's Kitty Den, and we were part of a project called Kitties for a Cause, which raised money for the Seattle Children's Hospital. And Alan, who goes by Alan Falcon on Discord, was the point of contact. So, you know, the entire the entire Kitty Hats team sort of had skin in the game and made sure that they were looking out for those in need. So I'm proud to say that Kitty Hats has, in addition to creating some interesting technical innovations, has done some social good.
Yeah, Kitty.cred is at an earlier stage of development, I think. But we've built in, and I don't believe it's live yet, but they're working on the ability that when a coin is purchased, that the revenue can go back to, could be a rescue, a charity of your choice, and that distribution would be retained every time the coin is sold. So it could be the 10th person out, it would still go back to the kitty charity. And I believe the percentage can be set and all of that. So not live yet, but that's definitely incorporating social good is in the works.
One thing to add to the stuff that Kitty Hats did, what was interesting about it is, I believe the way that it worked was people would buy a cat, and 100% of the proceeds of buying that cat went to the charity. Each cat had a specific kitty hat associated to it. So I believe it was a balloon, and what was neat was that acted as this kind of social signal that you donated. So it's similar to, I think, like getting a pin if you donate blood or things like that. So that's what this feature added on to that good.
Awesome. Okay, that's it for today, unless anyone has any parting thoughts. Anything else you want to say? Okay, thanks very much.